It's Friday night, everybody. You know what that means. It's Friday night. Let's have some fun. Let's get together and play a ton.
I'm Matt.
And I'm Jon.
And we're
Friday Night Games.
We are two board game enthusiasts who want to immerse you into our love of the hobby by bringing you board game content every Friday.
Whoa.
We create for several platforms, including Twitch, Twitter, and Instagram.
And on today's show, we are going to try to blow each other's mind by secretly revealing some amazing board game facts that we found in the deep cockles of the internet. I thought this would be a fun idea to see if we can find some truly interesting stuff about our favorite hobby.
Hold on. Let's back this up for a second here. You wanted me to research, right?
Right.
Okay, so I'm going to tell a little story.
Wait. So
Saturday night.
Hold on.
No. Saturday night. Matt's just perusing the internets, and he's like, "Hey, what's this? What? Wait a minute. I check out all my favorite Instagram stories, Friday Night Games _official, and what do I see? I see Jon's posted. Hey, does anyone have any interesting board game facts?
Why is that not research?
I don't know.
I was just seeing if I can find. So the reason I did that, I will explain when I get to start my facts.
Hold on. Let me just put it this way. So I guess that just comes down to definitions of how both of us consider research, right? Like for me, when I think research, I think go to Google, type in most interesting board game facts, and what do I get? And then I have to go down. I have to take that and go down a couple different paths to find what I want.
Okay, I did that too.
Okay.
Anyway. But you got to remember, when I was in school, when I did a book report, I watched the movie instead of read the book. You know what I mean?
You were pretty smart, man. I didn't do that. I was like,
it's not a smart thing to do.
Well, you know how I was in school, right? And I was a perfectionist, so I would read the book twice and then write my book report.
Yeah,
so
that's okay.
Yeah,
I appreciate that about you. All right, so before we get into our facts, let's go over a little bit of board game history. Nothing too crazy, but board games are an integral part of all cultures, and it's one of the oldest forms of social interaction. And one of the oldest games recorded is Senet at 3500 BCE. It's a two-player game originating in Egypt that is still played today.
Hey, that's really cool. I actually got to play that. Well, I got to play what they think was the version of Senet. They're trying to basically figure out how it worked.
Right.
With a group of researchers.
That's cool.
During Gen Con.
That's awesome.
It was super fun.
And then I think this is always just a cool one. The original Life game had a space for suicide.
Wow. That's how old is the Game of Life? That's a good question. Let's look that up here. The Game of Life, 1960.
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty serious, I guess. It's part of life. That's insane. No, that's not insane. That's the wrong word. It sucks.
It was a weird board space, but hey. All right, Matt, so give me one of your facts.
Oh man, right into it,
Right into it. Let's get right into it.
Okay, well, first of all, when you said research, I thought it'd be really funny to I kind of went down a weird rabbit hole.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people who are like, these are the top games you need to play, or the top games you've never heard of, or these games are mind-boggling.
Yep.
So the first article I got was a BuzzFeed article from 2014.
I didn't cite my my research.
I know, that's why I cited it. It's actually pretty funny. And the article is called Mind-Boggling. And I'm like, you know what? This gotta have great facts in it. Come on, you can't just have an article called Mind-Boggling from 2014 that isn't that good. And it was written by James Graebe. Graebe? I don't know. Who knows? Who knows if he's even a journalist anymore? Does BuzzFeed people beginner journalists? I have no idea. So the first thing, there's actually 5 facts on this page, but here, I'll give you one. The original battleship had land areas.
Oh, cool.
Did you know that?
I didn't.
I didn't know that. And I didn't research if that was true or not.
You didn't?
I'm assuming it's true.
See, I actually did that. I looked at the facts, and then I was like, okay, I'm going to look a couple more websites to see if this is actually true.
Okay, you did better than me then.
So I
didn't go that far.
Land spaces. That's
yeah,
cool.
Yeah. I could give you another one. This one I know is true. Players who go first in Connect 4 can win 100% of the time.
I did see that in my thing.
Yeah, and that's because the game is so simple. You can see the pattern. When you play the game, you can see the pattern, and the first player always has the advantage in that game.
All right, so I want to start off. When I started doing my research, it was way harder than I thought it would be to find interesting board game facts. And it seems that the internet only cares about facts around Monopoly, Game of Life, and Clue.
Hold on, let's press pause. Why do you think that is?
Because they're just popular games.
Yeah, and that's what I found too. I'm like, this is the only facts I could get. But keep going.
So I'll do my best to navigate this challenge. So my first fact is there are currently 1,144, according to Google, versions of Monopoly out there. But did you know that there is one Monopoly set that is worth $2 million?
Yeah, isn't it like gold
USD.
or diamond or something?
Yeah, it was created by an artist and jeweler, Sydney Mobile, in 1985, and it's crafted out of rubies, diamonds, sapphires, and 24-karat gold, and it's certified in the Guinness Book of Records for the most expensive Monopoly.
Could you imagine that? Someone's like, hey, John, you want to come over to my house and play Monopoly? I have all the diamond pieces carved from gemstones. When you get $100, you get actually $100.
There you go. Our friends from Kidsplaining said that they learned that a version of a game, I want to say like Quirkle.
Okay.
The original box was a pizza box. Like how they designed the game was with a pizza box.
That's like the dude's just like at a pizza parlor and he's like, yo, dude, I got a great game for Quirkle. He's like eating pizza. I mean, that's typically, like, that's what I would probably be doing if I was like making a game. I'd be eating pizza. I'd probably like finish the box and I would just see the game in the box.
Yeah, I thought I
Start
saved
drawing.
but my phone failed me.
Oh, hey, you still quoted them. That's pretty cool,
Yeah,
though.
so thank you, Kidsplaining, for answering me.
Yeah, man. Shout out to them. Look for them in the future. We're going to do a crazy philosophy podcast. They don't even know it yet. Okay, these are all like rapid fire. So, like, do you know the patient and operation, what the name is of that person?
No.
Cavity Sam.
Cavity Sam.
I don't know why that is.
Because he's got a bunch of cavities in his body.
It should be like Disease Sam. Broken Organ Sam. I don't know. The longest game of Monopoly went for 70 straight days.
I heard that.
And then a convicted murderer. This is, I don't know if you consider Ouija a board game, but convicted murderer was once awarded a retrial because 4 of the jurors used a Ouija board to determine his guilt. I actually don't know if that's true. It had a source on it, and I'm like... John, are you okay? John is literally dead. He's literally, I think we need a Ouija board to see what's actually...
That is hilarious.
Could you imagine that trial? Hold on a second. We gotta talk to the ghost.
Did he murder them? No.
Hey, why does this ghost look like the Ghostbuster smoking a cigar from that Halloween episode?
All right, I got another Monopoly fact for you, Matthew.
Okay, go for it.
So Monopoly was used to help prisoners of war escape Nazi camps in World War II.
Didn't we give that fact?
I don't know.
Yeah, we gave that fact in our Monopoly episode, but keep going.
Oh, did we? Okay. Yeah, so Nazis allowed prisoner of war to play board games. They allowed the British government to send games to them. So they obviously sent them with tools for escape, so compasses, money, and a silk map to help them navigate their way back home. So they made sure it wasn't paper so it wouldn't fall apart.
Right.
It would get lost. So I think that was pretty interesting as well.
I'm surprised that like the Nazis didn't check the box.
Maybe they sealed it. Maybe they sealed it. I don't know. It was like factory sealed.
Yeah. I guess it was also the 1940s. So.
Right.
Who knows,
Who
right?
knows?
Cool. Well, okay. This one I got from the RD list of game facts and trivia. I don't have a citation of the year on this one, but did you know Rubik took a month to solve his cube?
Oh, yeah. I did read that in my research.
It's funny because we've probably got a lot of the same stuff because this is just the same stuff. Also, this one's really cool. This one isn't board game related. It's actually World of Warcraft related and kind of related to our situation now. This was from 2005. Did you know that World of Warcraft helped researchers determine the spread of disease?
That's cool.
Yeah, and I guess it all happened to do with this like Hakar plague in the game, and they saw how it spread. And it's actually really cool because in Hearthstone they did the same thing. They had a card back, and if you played with the card back, you would then force the other player to have that card back the next game.
Oh, that's cool.
So it saw how like disease spread. It was super cool.
That's interesting.
Yeah, so it was like, and this was a long time ago. This is 2005, so they're trying to investigate that stuff back then to prevent things like now happening.
Wow, they didn't do a good job with that.
Well, they overestimated the human will to follow rules.
Oh yeah, we don't do that.
I'll shoot out another one too. I have a lot, but I'll shoot another one. Catan sold out so fast that the creator, Klaus Tuber, doesn't own a copy of the first edition.
Cool.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Yeah.
Imagine not owning the first edition of your own game that you created.
I mean, you probably could buy it later.
Ah.
Or like, whatever publishing company, could get it for you. Or I don't know, maybe not.
That sucks.
Does that mean it's worth a lot? I should have looked up how much the first edition of Catan is.
All right, I got my last fact for you.
Okay.
For you, Matt. So I want you to imagine working hard to study facts so that you can compile whole encyclopedias. Now imagine thinking a company took your encyclopedia and turned it into a board game. So back in 1987, a man named Fred Ellsworth sued Horn Abbott Limited and Selcho and Writer Company, who are the creators of Trivial Pursuit, for $300 million for copyright infringement. So he claimed,
wow, really?
so he claimed that they were using his books to come up with the facts for this game.
Really?
Yeah, he noticed this because he planted one bit of false information in the game to catch copycats, and that fact ended up in their game.
And Trivial Pursuit?
Yeah, and from what I
That's
read,
interesting because, sorry, before you go on, Trivial Pursuit was mentioned in one of these things somewhere. I guess I don't have it written down, but they said that the creators of Trivial Pursuit were bored one day and created it while waiting in line for something.
Weird. This one I looked at multiple different sources for.
Really? That's super
Yeah.
cool.
So he planted one false bit of information, and from what I read, I couldn't really find this on any other site but one, but that he wrote that the TV character Columbo, that his first name was Philip, which isn't true, I guess.
Really?
Yeah, but the court didn't think he had enough evidence, so they dismissed his case. He didn't get anything.
Even though he planted that false piece of evidence?
Yeah.
Huh.
So he was very mad that they didn't give him credit for the work that he was mad because he did all the work, and it was just basically
Copyrighted.
someone stole his homework type thing, right? So
Yeah, that would make me pretty angry too.
yeah.
We should get him on the show. You want a real deep dive? Here's the real creator of Trivial Pursuit. It's like you have anything to say to the current creators of Trivial Pursuit, Mr. Real Creator of Trivial Pursuit? We're gonna take them down next. Wow, that was some pretty interesting stuff. Okay, so I guess here's some more of my rabbit hole. So on Trendhunter, they had a list of bizarre board games. So tell me how bizarre you think these games are, okay?
Okay.
Or board game facts in general. So this is from 2013. Did you know there's a board game cafe called Snakes and Lattes?
Yeah, it's in Toronto.
It's bizarre, right?
Yeah.
Did you know they make different versions of Clue?
This is serious?
Yeah, this
Okay.
is serious. I don't know. I don't know
It's
what
not that bizarre. If you
I
wanna sell
know,
some
but
games.
this is why I just kind of stopped and I'm like, this is bananas. These are the facts.
I did know there was a version of Clue that was made originally. The lead pipe was actually made from lead.
Oh, really?
Yes. So then they changed it to something else, and now it's just like steel.
Kids were eating it and getting lead poisoning, so they basically had to change it.
Well, yeah, it's poisonous.
Here's the last point from this article. Trendhunter. Did you know life-size board games exist?
Like life-size chess?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, you're not blown away by these facts?
Did you know that someone made not even a life-size, but a life-size version of Mousetrap, and he would tour it to teach people about kinetic movement and stuff like that.
Love Mousetrap.
Right?
I love Mousetrap.
So he built a life-size version of the game that humans could play just to teach people about kinetic movement.
That's
and
super
stuff like
cool.
that. Yeah.
The thing about me though, if I was that guy, probably build up the Mousetrap and then I try to get it to work, but it wouldn't work properly. That's kind of how my life worked in that game. The cage just falls and then nothing happens. You're like, come on, man. So, okay, here's another article from The Guardian, 2015. I don't even know where The Guardian is. Probably somewhere important. They have an article called The Games You've Never Heard of. Oh, cool. So you ready for these games you never heard of?
Yes. Monopoly.
Carcassonne. Dominion. Dead of Winter. Pandemic. One of our favorites, Firefly the Game.
Oh. I wish I never heard of that game.
Yeah, I give them credit, right? It's a list for 2015 list. I don't know. Board games even now aren't that like they're popular, but they're not.
Yeah.
It's not like video games, right?
Right.
This one is actually pretty good. This one is a 2020 article from New York Times. This one's actually, I'm not making fun of this one. They actually talk about the board games they love. And it's actually a really good article. You should check it out. Just search New York Times board games they love. They have a couple articles, and the games on it are actually phenomenal. Wingspan, Sangrata, Tokaido, Pandemic Legacy, Mysterium, Betrayal on the House on Haunted Hill, Small World, and Scythe.
Cool.
Yeah, but then that led me to this other article.
Oh man, you went a big rabbit hole.
Oh, dude, this
You
rabbit hole.
did way too much work.
This
for
rabbit hole, though? No, this actually wasn't a ton of work at all, to be honest with you. It might have been like 10 minutes of finding articles, and then maybe last night 20 minutes of just reading the articles. But this one's by Glamour.
Okay.
December 2020. And you know what, dude? I think we're missing out. I think like board gamers in general, we're just too into our hobby. You know, we don't actually see the other board games that maybe like non-board gamers, more casual people like. So this list is like tops, and I've never heard of any of these games. Well, maybe a few, but so the first one is like the Games Room Compendium, which is just like darts and like I don't know.
Whatever.
Yeah, it is what it is. The second one was like Very British Problems, the board game.
Okay.
I don't know. They're like, if you have very British problems and you can agree with this, I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about, but cool. And then there's this other game called Priorities, which was kind of like, apparently this is a classic game. I actually looked it up. So it's just like Trial by Trolley, but instead of like setting up cards, you have a card and you read it and you're like, do you prefer texting on your phone or sending an email?
Okay.
That's the whole game. It's just questions like, it's kind of like a conversation starter. And I actually looked it up. It's actually old. It's like an old game that they just keep revising with new questions.
Okay.
But it's just like, hey, this sounds exactly like Trial by Trolley, but not as fun.
Okay. So I don't want to play it.
Yeah, exactly. You know, everyone's into that Swedish, what's that Swedish thing? It's like Higgy, it's like the art of being Swedish. My wife has a book on it upstairs. This thing like on our coffee table.
I don't know.
Did you know there's a game?
No.
Dude, there's a game. I'm like, once I saw this, I'm like, WTF, did my wife write this article? I'm like, the article has, I didn't read them all, but it has like 1920s English things, Higgy, trivia. Like, these are things I love. Like, it's like, what the F is going on here? You know what I mean?
She did, right?
You put her up to this, didn't you?
I did.
I did. Son of a, you put her up to this article.
Screw with Matt by searching article. Right, quick, write one.
For Glamour. It's not a popular magazine at all. And then eventually I found the real rabbit hole's Reddit, dude.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so basically...
Reddit's just a hole.
Yeah, when you look into that hole, you find truth.
Yeah.
That's it. Complete truth.
You go on Reddit for other things than boobs?
Yeah, dude. Board games, my friend. And what is the weirdest branded board game you've ever played? This is actually kind of cool. The California Raisins board game.
I used to have that game.
No,
Yeah,
really?
yeah.
Stop it. Did you really?
Yeah.
Okay, how do you play it then?
I don't remember.
California.
Yeah, it's
I'm looking
probably
it up.
like just roll a dice and move spaces, do stuff.
Welcome to the land of sunshine, palm trees, and yep, you guessed it, those oh so cool California raisins. Raisins are coming to Hollywood from all over California to be singing and dancing stars. In fact, conga lines of raisins can be seen all over the city, but what raisins will hit the big time? It's all timing in Hollywood. Be the first player to get your quartet on center stage, and your 4 raisins will be the stars of the show. According to the making of California Raisins board game, 3 artists spent more than 3 months to design, create the perfect
3 months.
3-dimensional sculpted clay models
All right.
that are photographed to make the game board.
Gross.
It's just to make the game board.
Well, that's the most interesting fact you said.
What?
3 months to
Ouch.
shoot pictures for a board game.
Ouch.
board.
I didn't even get to the very last fact. What's the most unusual game you own? Someone put Smellery. And it's just like a 1940s card game with like smells on the cards. You try to guess what
Scratch
they
and
are.
sniffs?
Yeah, kind of.
Gross. Gross.
Which kind of
Ew.
leads me to like,
Ew.
when I heard that game, I'm like, man, they should make, you know those Harry Potter jelly beans, the ones that like taste
the
like
jelly bellies.
Yeah. They should make it. We should make a game.
Shh,
Or
don't
just
say it. Don't say it.
No. It's just a thing. I'm gonna say it because you kind of already kind of get it right now.
Okay.
I just give you. Everyone sees what the jelly bean is, and then I give it to you, and you have to guess.
Oh yeah,
That's
people,
the whole
people
game.
play that game.
Oh, sounds like an amazing game. We should be playing that.
Those things are gross.
I once bought it for Samantha as like a gift when we were really young, and she was hungry, so she ate the whole thing, and she's just like, vomit tastes like vomit.
Gross.
Yeah.
Well, Matt, thank you for going down that rabbit hole for me. I did not go down that deep of a rabbit hole.
Did you like my rabbit hole
It
though?
was good. It was good.
Okay,
It
I'm
was
glad.
good. Thank you.
I did that for you.
Well, this was just a fun podcast to ease us into 2021. So that are some board game facts we found on the internet. Like I said, it's mostly just Monopoly, Life, and Clue, which is fine. But if you know any like cool board game facts, shoot us a message on our socials. We love to hear them. So if you like what you hear, don't forget to leave us a review on Apple Podcasts or follow us on your favorite streaming platform. And check us out every Monday night on Twitch, twitch.tv/Friday Night GMS at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where we play through one of our favorite board games we played of the week. You can also follow us on Instagram at Friday Night Games _official, Twitter at Friday Night GMS, or check us out on our website, FridayNight.games. If there's a game you would like us to check out, or if you created a game and want us to preview it on our podcast, shoot us an email at info@FridayNight.games. And don't forget, it is Friday night. Let's have some fun.